I think we should start with the only show, according to this, that all three of us have watched.
Ah,
and that's
yes.
Trapped.
I'm just gonna... That's my review. That's my review of it.
Now, how far have we all got on this? Because I know I've watched both episodes.
I've only watched
I didn't get to see 2 because I was still plodding on with blooming Vinyl.
Right, so are we just going to...
Yeah, just
Yeah.
well,
up to
episode
one. Up to one.
Yeah.
up to 1.
So this is a drama. I actually thought at first it was quite an old one, but actually it's only just recently debuted in its home country of Iceland.
You're right, though. It did look a little dated. You're not wrong.
Yeah.
In episode 2, does Peter Andrew turn up with some pawn rings?
From Iceland, some
Yeah.
tikka lasagna.
Yeah.
Surely that would be Kerry Katona. If it was dated.
It's actually the king prawn spoons. Is
Okay.
is
Yeah.
the big
That's
thing.
the murder weapon.
Hacked them to death with king prawn spoons.
Good name for a band. That King Prawn Spoons.
Set in a small Icelandic port town village.
Yeah.
That covers everything.
Yeah. City.
It's focusing around the police chief, Andre, played sort of by Gary.
Peter.
Played by Gary. I was going to say that as well.
It isn't that good.
But it is when you travel to. I was going to say Scandinavia, but Iceland isn't Scandinavia, is it? But it is Nordic.
Yeah, it's not Scandinavian.
You're going to tell us this isn't Nordic noir?
It is Nordic, but it's not Scandinavian. Scandinavia
Okay.
is Sweden, Denmark, and Norway.
And Finland.
Yeah.
But no.
No.
Lapland.
Don't keep naming
We'll have a talk
lands.
after the podcast about what isn't Scandinavia and what is.
We'll do that next.
Oh, that's gold.
And basically, a fisherman finds a torso while fishing, and they realise it's been thrown from a ferry.
Blooming huge ferry as
A
well.
blooming huge ferry that's about to, what's the word? Not
Embark?
land.
Disembark.
Disembark in, or arrive in...
Dock.
Dock. Yeah,
Dock.
Dock.
That's it. Dock in
Good
the
word.
in the port. And it basically becomes a murder mystery, and at the same time the town starts to get snowed in. The mountain road gets closed off. As Andre realizes that he has to solve this murder, he calls in the team from Reykjavik, but they can't get in because of the snow. So it's basically the entire town is trapped with a murderer, and then there's other things going on. There's Andre's wife has come back with her lover, and she wants to maybe take the girls back with them. And then there's
I wish she would. The girl's a little brat.
yeah,
So.
and there's also I didn't even mention the stuff with the fire at the beginning where he's
Oh,
Oh
yeah.
no, that's what made me make that noise earlier.
his ex-wife's sister dies in a fire at the beginning, and her boyfriend who survives the fire comes back on the ferry. That's one of the stories, and he's quite a prominent character in the second episode as well.
Okay.
There's people who want to build a marina in the town and want to get
Yeah.
everyone to sell their houses and move away.
And
There's
fish
something
monger there.
with the obviously the dad from The Killing and the Danish defence minister from Bulgan, who's now the captain of a ferry in this. He's,
God, his CV it just looks
yeah,
like
he basically wants to cause chaos. They said, didn't they, that he wouldn't turn the heating on the
no.
thing. And
Well, he
and
turned
at
the
end-
heating off, didn't he? I suppose.
Yeah.
That's
No, yeah, he
He
turned
turned
it
the
off
opinions
and
he
wouldn't
didn't
turn it
and
back
he
on.
didn't want to turn it back on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he basically was being very surly about things. There's a hint that he's got something going on where he wants to cause as much mayhem as possible. And it's just all these little things that link back to this central
I
idea of
loved
the
it.
murder mystery. And I think, to me, it's what we were talking about Happy Valley last week, that you've got
Yeah.
this central story and then you've got things going on in the periphery.
That you just know we're all
You
going to
just know
connect.
that we're all
and
going to
come
connect.
together.
And then there's in the second episode, which I have seen, they even sort of make a connection to that little boy Maggie, the little ginger boy that the girls are
Oh, he's my favourite character.
He's-
Sorry.
You sort of get a hint of who his dad
talking
might
about
be.
his dad, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see this now. Is there any chance we could pause the
No.
podcast?
You stay right there.
I just
Yeah.
love the whole sort of atmosphere. You actually feel cold watching it.
That
You
was what I was
feel-
going to say. The
exactly what I was
atmosphere
gonna
of
say.
this
Yeah,
is the best thing about
yeah.
it.
You
I
do
just-
feel like you need to put the heating on because
Yeah.
the snow is
I
just like
feel
coming
like-
at you.
I feel like this is very closely linked to The Killing, because the same thing when you watch the original Danish Killing is the rain. you know, and the dampness and the cold, and it's what you think
It
Iceland
sort of reminded
is.
me of the Returned in that aspect as
Mm,
well. With
yeah,
Because it's all sort of foggy
yeah,
and
Yeah,
everyone's stuck
mysterious and-
together.
Yeah,
the small towns.
I really liked the way in which they had various storylines, and I agree with you, Luke. The two daughters are scumbags, the bullies.
Yeah.
But it's nice to have a
Yeah,
not,
they aren't
instead of
perfect.
angelic kids having these sort of this is what kids are like, and I don't think they are. They're bullies to this specific child, but also you know
What they were saying was horrible, considering their mother and father are apart, and they were picking
Yeah.
on this kid because he's
Considering,
got no dad.
though, Gary, he was called Maggie and he was ginger.
Well, yeah. Okay.
And,
What are you
and
supposed
in
to
the
do?
second episode, you find out he can't use building blocks either, so he's
Oh,
fine.
right, well, I'll change my petition. They were perfectly right to bully the poor kid.
They even link stuff back to the financial crisis in Iceland because apparently the marina that they were going to
Oh, of course, yeah, the
they were
bank.
originally going to build it in 2008, and everyone had agreed to like sell their houses and stuff, and then the plan fell through. So
Did they mention that volcano?
possibly
Yeah, I don't know.
there's time. There's 10 episodes.
And that's probably why it's so foggy.
I think the other thing that I loved about this was the pacing. You could tell that
Yeah.
this was going to rise and fall in its pacing. You had parts of the show that were quite slow, but you understood why they were there for character.
Comparing this to
And then-
Vinyl, I mean,
and
come
then
on,
right, yeah, and then right at the end of episode 1, you got the small car chase, or you know, running through the ferry. You got that bit of action that you needed just to sort of keep you gripped right at the end.
they do that, as you say, linking back to the first series of The Killing. They do that thing where they
Yeah.
show you where all the
Yes.
characters are
Yes.
at that specific moment, and then do or like 24 as well used to do.
Well,
that,
yeah,
didn't they?
24 pioneered that. You know,
Yeah,
that
yeah.
bit at the end with the.
And then they do a
Has he just died?
No. Hold on. He's awesome. I really like this. I will be watching this. Yeah, and like Luke, episode 2.
I absolutely love this, and also I give people a lot of grief if something doesn't grab them, stick with it. But I've seen 3 shows this year, 3 dramas this year: Happy Valley, this, and a new BBC 3 drama called 13, which grab you right from the start and do not let you go. And considering I started watching Vinyl, which was so difficult,
if you think about Vinyl, was an hour longer than the first episode of
and
Trapped.
nothing happened
and
really.
and the amount, I think Trapped had more characters, had more story, and was better
More
paid,
depth.
and still wasn't. You didn't feel like it was going too fast. It was. You felt like there's at least sort of, and there's characters you care about. Again, going back to Andre, I think you could link him back quite to Catherine in Happy Valley if we go and talk about that now. That they are both these people who are very committed to doing their job, but have all this sort of personal baggage and stuff. I felt so bad for Andre when
she
goes, and also when she goes, "Oh, you're still wearing your ring." That line just like got me completely. It's just like little things like that really matter. I think they really matter to a drama, and there's just
for all the swearing and the drug taking, you don't need it. You honestly don't need it. No, but you don't need it. And Trapped, Happy Valley.
That's why Luke doesn't do
and
the late
13
night version
Proof.
of this podcast. That's just
No. Is that what it is?
They're like
I
the 10:35 TFI
I just assumed
Friday.
he was a gremlin and couldn't go out after
honestly, if you can, we urge you to
It's
get
on
on
iPlayer.
iPlayer.
Yeah.
We need you to do it right now.
Everyone, well, if you
iPlayer
believe
this.
what
And,
BBC
not-
Three is saying, everyone's online now, so it's
Well,
fine.
also if it's not,
We are,
also,
to
if
be
you're
fair.
not, if you're not an iPlayer person, I believe BBC 4 repeat it on like Wednesday or Thursday through the night.
One
I can't-
final thing I would say before we go on to Happy Valley was that if you think, oh, it's subtitled, blah blah blah, I think you don't notice the subtitles completely.
No,
go.
you
And there are
honestly don't.
also, like in Borgen, there are those bits where they speak English for a bit so you can relax.
That blows my
Don't get
mind every
conceit.
time. I'm like, oh, I can speak Icelandic now. And then
All
I
of a
go,
sudden you're like, oh, I
"No."
can speak really good Danish.
But it did
I've been
confuse me
watching
when
it.
the scenes between Andre and the captain, where they start speaking like Icelandic
English.
or Danish, and then go into English, and then go back.
And then swap back. Yeah, it's amazing. It's a 10-parter, and BBC Three show 2 in one go.
BBC
What?
Three aren't showing anything anymore.
Oh, BBC Three, oh, I miss you. BBC Four are showing 2 each Saturday, so it'll actually be over in 5 weeks. But it is fantastic.